sequence of formations to find one that would result in a figure that is similar but not congruent. So remember, when they're similar, their side values are no longer equal. Okay, and usually to have a similar figure, you have to have a dilation. So if we have a rotation followed by a reflection, that did not change the size, so that can't be an option. That's not going to be a similar figure. That would still be congruent. This one has a dilation followed by a translation. So since it had a dilation, that one would be similar but not congruent. A reflection across the y-axis followed by a dilation with a scale factor of 10. So because it had a dilation and it's similar, not congruent. A dilation with a scale factor of 1.9 followed by a rotation. So that one did have that dilation, so it is similar. Okay, the only one that would be congruent is one that just rotated and reflected. Okay, so which transformations describes y squares ABCD and A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime, and D prime prime are similar? Okay, so we need to see what happened between ABCD and A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. Okay, when we look here, okay, all of the values stayed the same except for this y value. Okay, so that means that it reflected over the x-axis. Okay, then from A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime to A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime, D prime prime, okay, it changed here by a multiple. Okay, so it dilated, okay, and you do new over old, so negative 2 over negative 10 and negative 1 over negative 5. So it dilated by a factor of, and when we simplify this, we do get 1/5. So it reflected and then dilated here. Okay, which transformations took place to change ABCD to EHGF? Okay, so on these, okay, there is a 1, 2, and 1, 2 spots there. So I would say that it reflected over that spot. So if we did that, it would go here. Okay, so that wouldn't work because it would stay on the 0. So what about if it dilated first? Okay, if it dilated and reduced its size, okay, from new would be negative 1.5 over 8. Okay, or I could just find the length of this side, 1.5 and 1.5, so this would be 2.5 units long, and this one is 5 units long. So it reduced by a half. Okay, so if it reduced by a half, it would be at negative 4 to. And yep, here. Okay, and then it had to move over so it had a translation of 2.5 units to the right. Okay, because it had to move from here over to there. Okay, which translations will produce similar but not congruent figures? So you're just looking for the keyword of dilation or dilated. Okay, so I see it in the first one. I see dilated in the second. I see dilated in the third. And then the last one I see rotated and reflective. So this is not one, but the first three would be similar but not congruent. If it asked for congruent, it would have to be one that only rotated, reflected, or translated. Those are the rigid, which means that they stay the same shape.